because it was just me and my mom for a long time. My father had split with my mother around the age of 4, and she remarried. Uh, Growing up to understand the concept of a stepdad or a second father was kind of different. And I was the kind of kid that was always overly active, so it was difficult to kind of refocus on everything.
Yeah.
So school didn't really turn out well because the lack of focus, and then growing up would just be getting in all kinds of mischief. And I believe I was at the age of 16, or 15 or 16, I want to say 16. I had joined a youth group at my school's church, if that makes any sense. And we went through years and years of just understanding how we really should be living and versus how we're living today. And it was always a battle trying to figure out what that meant, what that was. I'd say it started around the age of 20, I'll be honest. I had fallen far from the church around 18 and didn't really participate after a long time. I had got into drugs and alcohol, and I was living a very me, self-centered life in the desire to seek that peace that I could just never find. Was admitted to the ER. Basically, I had severe chest pains and stomach problems at the time. We couldn't figure out what it was. The doctor had ran x-rays. I had been injected with all kinds of medicine, all kinds of various chemicals kind of just messing with me a little bit. And in the end, I went home, I felt so tired, and I knocked out. It was after that things started really messing with me, and nothing started to make sense, and it was a very scary moment in my life where I felt like I was closest to death in that moment. And all I knew was that I had to go to work, so I went to work that night, and I started feeling really rapid pounding in my chest. I was having heart palpitations, and in the midst of it all, I didn't understand how or why, and I don't have that normally. It was just new, and it was scary, and I didn't know what was going on. And so initially, I had just called as many people as I could to see if they could help me, and nobody could help me. No one was available, or they just didn't have an answer for me. And so the last thing I ended up going to was my Bible app that I had on my phone. And because of my job, we're not really supposed to be reading and working, but I figured out a way to kind of listen in and work at the same time. And I started realizing that it started in the book of Matthew, in the beginning. And for about 3 days, I had gone through Matthew to Revelation, I'd say about 3 cycles. And I'll be honest, I skipped Revelation on the last one. It was a bit scary. But it did set in an understanding that this one man went through all this junk, all this garbage, and I did know about him. And he's been calling me this entire time, and this would have been the best moment in my life to grab hold and really show me that, I'm still here and I never left you. I didn't really know until that day that he is the Son of God. He is Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. And all in all, I can count on him for anything and everything, even when I feel like I'm closest to the end. I had been praying, basically just trying to get a grasp on why the things happened the way they did, and what can I do to better myself, and how to really better understand his love. And I felt in that moment that his embrace was around me, that I felt like he just wrapped his arms around me. And one thing I can say is that I've never told anybody about what that softest part of me was. Unless I told you, you wouldn't know. And he knew. I mean, he always knew. I feel sometimes like he put it there for a reason, and it was for that reason. I went through life thinking that any decision I made, whether it would be good or bad, would not necessarily affect me in any way, shape, or form in the future. And I was really dumb, but it really took a lot to have to go through all of that to understand that not only was I given a second chance, but I was given a better reason, a better understanding of why I'm here, what he's doing for me, and what he has already done, and just how big that sacrifice was. It wasn't for just the sin for yesterday or the sin for 5 years ago, but it's for the sin for today, it's for the sin for tomorrow. It was taken care of, and it is taken care of. And I don't have to look at it, and nor do I have to be pulled in by it or tempted by it, because as it says in his word, that life-giving spirit has freed me from that power. And I'm free. I feel that not only do I have the confidence, not only do I have a stable ground, a stable base to stand on, I know what that base, I know who that base, I know who that ground is. And as hard as it was before to really understand what he has for me, I want to go further into that, and I want to really follow in what he has for me. And I know that first step is to really just have that level of intimacy. And baptism, to me, I believe, is an open door to that level of intimacy. I pray that in all that I do, and no matter how, no matter where, no matter when, that not only will I be able to tell this story to my family and my kids and really bring to them the truth that I have got the opportunity to learn firsthand, but to continue on in this growth. And my hope is that in the end, when we all rise to eternity with him, that I can give him the biggest hug that he really deserves and not have to let go, and that's forever.